And Zaffis comes on and says, hey, there's significance to that, by the way.
Yeah.
White rabbits were this to the witches, and black cats obviously were warning you, and it's like, okay then, maybe I did want to be out for that walk. And by the way, not that we're gonna scold you, Christine, shame on you. That cemetery is off limits after dark.
Yeah, but they usually something doesn't seem right about that because they usually lock the gate, and I can't see them, doing pulling an Outsiders and jumping the fence. So.
Right. Pulling an Outsiders. Pony boy.
So I'm sure the gate was probably left open and they didn't know. So that's okay.
Right. Oh man, we get people jumping in and out of the room, and I'm hoping it's not because they can't hear things.
It's probably because they hate us. It might be because they can't hear it.
That's why I keep posting link for audio every 5 seconds. But hey. Whatever. Anyway. I do want to thank Christine for coming on and sharing the story.
Yeah, that was very
I remember hearing her talk to John about that in the final session.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't remember his response to it, but I do remember that conversation happening. So
right.
This is the beauty of events like this, is you get people who can have those stories, have those experiences, and I mean the people you want to have those experiences with are right there.
Yeah, right.
You have John and Brian and Dustin. Mm-hmm. By the way, let's thank everybody too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Want to thank John Zaffis and get well quick, Ziggy,
yeah.
please. Brian Cano. We can't say enough about Brian. We love Brian. Legitimately love him as a person.
Yeah.
He's good people. He's always there for us if we have questions. He's always there for us if we have ideas that we want to bounce off of him.
Yeah.
And I would never ever want to do something like this without Brian.
No.
Dustin Pari. What an awesome guy.
He's sociable. He kind of melds into any little group.
Let me share a story about Dustin from Saturday's conference. And I apologize. One thing we do want to say to all the vendors is, it was awesome that you were so cooperative at 3 p.m. to break everything down.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And get out of there as fast as you did.
That was the fastest we've ever seen.
They needed to set up a wedding. We all knew the constraints going in, that we were going to have issues bumping up against this wedding, and that's why the vendor area had to close at 3.
Yeah.
Next year will be a different story. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But what a fantastic job everybody did getting out of there. In the mayhem of everybody packing up to leave, one of our guests. A guest came up, and this gentleman came up and had purchased a couple of shirts and an autographed photo. One of the shirts was Dustin's and the photo was Dustin's.
Yeah.
And he placed them down in the lobby, and somebody walked away with them. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but somebody walked away with the stuff.
Yeah.
And this poor guy was so upset about this. He was beside himself that it would happen. And one of them was
the picture was for his daughter.
Yeah, the picture was for his daughter, and it was signed by her, or not by her. It was addressed to her. It was personalized for his daughter. He was so upset about this. I said, you know what? Don't worry. Come with me. We walked over. We hit the 2 tables that he got the stuff at. Dustin was right there. I said, hey, Dustin, can I talk to you for a moment? I told him what happened, and Dustin was like, oh, my God, man. Don't let this ruin your weekend. Which one was it? He took out a photo, autographed it, and personalized it again. Gave him another shirt, and made this guy's weekend a weekend. It could have been horrible and terrible for him, but it turned out to be an awesome weekend. That's the kind of people that were at Salem Con.
That's the kind of people that we invite to Salem Con. You know why? Because that's how they are with other people.
Yeah.
We don't want someone who's going to sit at their table and be smug and not talk to anybody and not socialize and not enjoy the event.
Yeah.
That's why we invite guys like Dustin. Because even though he didn't, I've never met him before, and I barely got to really see him at the event. But I mean, you don't have to.
Exactly.
He loves sharing his stories. He loves talking to people, and he's there for that.
Yep.
He's so nice.
He's super nice.
I didn't get to investigate with him or Scott Grunwald, but lots of other people did, and that's excellent.
Yep. And it was sad because everything was going really smoothly, really well. For that to happen, it was tough to hear, but the people involved made it right.
Exactly.
So that's just a nice warm story from Salem Con and some of the people there.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Grunwald, I love the guy.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel like either we were best friends in a past life or something, or somewhere along the way, we were soldiers fighting on a field next to each other.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe we were on Brokeback Mountain together.
Oh,
not quite sure.
my! You can't quit him, can you?
I can't quit him. I can't quit Scott. Scott, if you're listening, I can't quit you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But, you know, this was my first opportunity and our first opportunity to meet Scott person.
Yes.
Person. Meet Scott person.
Meet Scott person.
Yes, person.
You were having a very tough time with words tonight.
But it was nice to meet him. You know, It was nice to be able to shake his hand, look him in the eye, and be like, hey, I've been talking to you for years on Twitter. So being able to do that, these are the people that come. And Scott's routine, his act, his lecture, whatever you want to call it,
was priceless.
But it was so energetic, and it gave everybody what they needed at that point of the day.
Yeah.
It was a good, hearty laugh.
Yeah.
People had fun. He gave stuff away. Excuse me.
The Harry Potter donuts.
Harry Potter donuts.
Who has Harry Potter donuts? Hey, wait, where's my underwear?
He was such a ball of energy, and he was sick as a dog.
Yeah, he was.
He was so sick.
No, he was okay. If he was very sick, you didn't know it until Saturday night because he started to feel sick at the location at Witch Teas.
Yeah. He lost his voice.
But he was so pumped about being there that it didn't phase him one bit.
Yeah. Don't be shy, folks. Call in and share your stories with us.
So far, can't hear.
We've had Christine call in. But
That's it.
The number is 713-955-0384. Please share your stories with everyone because we don't want to talk for the whole hour.
I know.
Although we only got like 20 minutes left. But anyway, so Grunwald, Zaffis, Cano, Pari, Tim Weisberg.
Yep.
Tim Weisberg.
Who cracks me up, by the way, because he forgot all of his stuff for his table.
He remembered the stuff for his radio show he had to do in the morning, but forgot everything he was going to schlep at his table. Shows up with his backpack, and that is all. So here's a big 8-foot table for you, Tim, to put some postcards down. But Tim, if you're outside of the New England area, Tim is the writer-researcher for the TV show Ghost Stalkers. He's Jeff Belanger, who was also at Salem Con.
Yeah.
He is Jeff Belanger's partner in crime for Legend Trippers.
Yes.
Legend Trippers travels around New England, visiting some locations that have deep history in them, and they tell you the history of that location through a little paranormal event.
Yeah.
There's a tiny bit of investigating that goes on, but it's mostly about the rich history of where you are.
Exactly. More like an educational thing, but fun.
Exactly. So they'll explore different legends and stories and things like that at these different places. They're doing one coming up soon at Ventfort Hall.
Yes.
Where we had our event last year.
Yep.
So they'll be at Ventfort Hall very soon doing their thing.
Yeah. Beautiful place, by the way.
Gorgeous.
Completely recommend going there if you get a chance. It's absolutely beautiful.
Christine was at Ventfort.
Yes, she was.
So that was, and Brian was at Ventfort.
And Brian was at Ventfort.
So as you see, there's a theme here, people. We have friends and people who follow us.
We're like the Partridge Family bus.
The Scooby Band, the Mystery Machine.
We looked like that in the picture, by the way.
Oh my, yeah, didn't we?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. But in any event, so Jeff Belanger was there. Jeff spoke about some things about the history of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Going way back to the knocks on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, so being able to come to something like this and seeing these people, and I heard nobody's lecture.
No.
I didn't have the chance. I apologize. Michael Diamond, who went off at 3:45, had a great crowd, gave an awesome little quick 25, 30-minute lecture.
Right.
Blew through what he needed to get through.
Yeah.
And it was really important stuff because it was kind of hitting everything that we kind of run from.
Yeah.
The orbs, the flashlights, the things like that.
Yeah.
And he really got into it and had some science behind it.
Is there a bug in here?
No.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah. No, I just felt like someone just tugged on my eyelash.
Okay. There's no bugs. Sorry about that, folks.
There's no fly. There's no gnats in here.
There's nothing.
They really got in here? Okay.
There's a firefly in the chat room.
Hey-o!
But anyway.
In any case,
go
ahead.
So Michael Diamond, great lecture, and hopefully that cover. Oh, John Tobin.
John Tobin, yep.
Mr. John Tobin, he was our guest with Michael Diamond last week.
Yep.
I can't, and I don't think Lauren either can say enough about John. He's a mentor to us.
Definitely.
He sort of got us started in the event stuff too, with GHH.
He absolutely did. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have done SalemCon.
I don't think so. If
it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met you, so we wouldn't have done SalemCon.
True. That is true. But John Tobin kicked everything off at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning and brought Krista Cesare and Joe Chin with him.
Yep.
And Rosalind Bound as well. And they had a great lecture.
Yep.
People really liked it. It was well received. It's John's only appearance of the year.
Yep.
And he rocked it. And he did a great job. And I missed seeing him up there in front of people talking, and it's as if he had never left.
Another thing we're changing for next year's the timing for the lecture series.
Yes.
That way everyone gets a chance to see their friends' lectures, or walk around the convention center and go to a lecture.
Yeah.
Because I'm upset that I missed Jeff's, to be honest. I was really looking forward to that one.
I wanted to hear everybody's.
Yeah.
But,
Well, yeah, of course I wanted to hear everybody's, but if I had to pick and choose, I already know Tobin, so whatever.
So here's what we'll do next year. Next year we'll just put a podium and a stage in the ballroom.
In the ballroom.
And the lectures will go on while everybody's vending. And we'll just have everybody stand up in the middle and talk about there. And it
has to be monotone.
Yes.
And you can't take breaks in between your sentences. It's just be one long run-on sentence in a monotone voice.
Oh, man. This whole call-in thing is not working so well. Nobody's calling in. So,
not really.
If you want to call in and order a pizza, we can do that too.
I have a feeling not many people can hear it, and that's what's probably happening.
But
it is also Wednesday night after SalemCon.
Yeah.
I'm still a
little. And the playoffs are on. So.
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Who's there?
Probably hockey and whatever else is on today.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So we're up against some things, but I don't care.
That's okay. We're still having a good time. I'm trying to think of any experiences that I had. What about some experiences that you had?
We had the Echo Box experience, I'll talk about this briefly because I could go on about this all night long.
You just reminded me of, just real quick, Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
Oh.
When he goes into the cave and he's like, you're not a witch. Witch, no, not saying you're a witch. Witch. Which is which? Witch, you're not a witch.
So, we were in Witch Teas.
Yes.
In the basement.
We as in you and your
group.
As in
myself and my group, yes, Group D. We were in Witch Teas. The Ouija board was being used in one room. We were in the room where we were using Echo Box. And Scott's Echo Box wasn't working properly, but somebody else had it, so we were using their phone. And we were getting an interesting voice was coming through. And we were getting a little bit of interaction, which was relevant to some of the things that had happened earlier with the Ouija board. Then all of a sudden, we got the name Sarah Good came over. Clear as day, Sarah, pause, Good. And we all said, that just said Sarah Good. And we were like, what about Sarah Good? What do you want to tell us about Sarah Good? I don't remember what was said next, but then a few moments later, we got the name Tituba. These are very relevant to the witch trials.
Yep.
Sarah Good was an accused witch and hanged.
Yep.
Tituba was she wasn't really a slave, but she was
like a housekeeper, like quote unquote housekeeper.
Yeah, she was a housekeeper and something like that. But she was but she was the person who whipped the girls into a frenzy, who accused Rebecca Nurse of being a witch.
Right.
In turn, Tituba ended up skipping town, getting the heck out of there before things came down on her. And
no, they did come down on her. You gotta give it.
Right, but she ended up getting away. She got out.
Yeah, because they let her go.
Yes.
She was brought to trial but she was let go.
But she was let go.
Yeah.
Right. So she was out. So we get the name Sarah Good and Tituba back and forth. And now it's just focusing on Tituba. The weird thing is none of us had asked anything about witches.
Yeah.
We didn't ask if there were witches present. We were focusing on the tunnels.
Yeah.
Because, we're in the smuggler tunnel.
Right.
So let's focus on what might have been brought through there, or who might have been coming through here, or what. So we were trying to go along with the whole ship thing.
Yeah.
And the thing starts spitting out Sarah Good and Tituba.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Don't, please go right ahead.
No. What I'm just bringing it up because you and I have done like short little burst sessions with Dom and gotten that name.
Yep.
So something tells me that name is either they're saying it because we want to hear it, or it's everywhere. What are your thoughts?
Sorry. Here's one thought I have kicking around right now, and I'd love to open this for discussion for anybody who's listening. We can talk about it at length at some other time. Here's a thought I have. Now, we're done